Hey, what is going on, everybody? So today I'm going to take you with me to a Red Sea tank that it's doing pretty well, but it's just been taken over by a pulsing Xenia, and it's kind of getting out of control. So we got to get in there and we got to frag some of it out. We got to get it out because it's just like a weed. It's growing all over everything, and it's preventing the other corals from thriving and from growing. You know, I love pulsing Xenia. I think it's a great coral, but it can get out of hand quickly. But first, I'm at a customer's house and I want to show you this tank real quick. So I'm here now doing a water change, and there's a quick update on this tank right now, which has been up for over 10 years. And it's doing decent. It's had some issues. You can see the monopore is not crazy bright right now, but the biggest issue I would say is coral overgrowth. So you see these hammers, for example, they're starting to put out sweepers, and they're starting to kill that Incredible Hulk lepto right there, which is becoming a bit of a problem. Also have this waving hand anthelia, which I've been plucking and pulling back, but it was all over here and it killed a bunch of those trumpet corals. You can see it's encroaching. Sorry about the wipe that off. It's kind of encroaching on this trumpet coral, which is starting to sting too. So staying on top of that's a bit difficult. There is aptasia in this tank, and there is bubble algae in this tank too. Star pop looks good. Flows off right now because I am doing a water change. Rock flowers are growing like crazy in this tank. Every time I come, there's a new baby spitting out. Tons and tons of rock flowers. There's also this invasive sponge, which is really starting to take over the rocks, and it's starting to kill the coral. I really believe that sponge is a problem, because look, everywhere the sponge is, the mushrooms are not happy. That sponge is getting out of control. And everywhere it goes, again, look, right by the trumpets, it's causing a serious issue. Waving hand anthelia seems to be stinging the toadstool right there. That's why that side's out and that side seems to be in. And what else do we have here? So just a lot of stuff going on in this tank that needs to be, that's a lot of work, a lot of just getting in here and really hacking some stuff up, which is kind of the theme for today. Some bird's nests that fell from the colony up here. Speaking of Xenia, this tank is being overrun by Xenia also. Look at that. So getting in here and pulling that out is gonna definitely make a difference. Customer got some coral recently, I'm assuming, because I haven't seen these pieces before. That's a Ganyapora, which doesn't look great. I got a Favia back there, I believe, and a beautiful torch coral. He got that from a local fish store. Not from us at Tanknicians. Big old cabbage coral, that thing's huge. Bubble coral is rocking out, doing good, but a lot of bubble algae, and there's definitely still some issues in this tank. We're gonna do a decent water change today, but you know, there's a lot of growth, and till we can get in here and really hack stuff up. We got a big monopora right there. That monopora needs to be, man, if it was up to me, I would just leave a little bit of that and just hack the rest out and sell it for parts. But you know, you get this pectinia right there, which I know they need low light, they don't need a lot of light, but eventually that monopora cap is going to cover that, and that's not going to get enough light. And he had other corals right here underneath that were shaded out that ended up dying because of the monopora cap just shaded them. But the Pavona looking good. I'm just gonna have to stay on top of controlling that monopora, because I don't want to shade all these guys out. But yeah, just getting in here and hacking it up and kind of reworking the way this tank is. But we're not gonna do that. We'll save that for another time. Right now, we have to go to a customer's tank who is dealing with an issue like this, where there's too much pulsing Xenia. So I'll show you guys that in a second. How do you not love that lepto right there? That thing is beautiful. These are one of my favorite corals. The leptos, they're just so cool looking, especially when they encrust. You just are left with this rock that's just a bright color, a bright orange with that yellow in the middle. Man, and they grow relatively quick too. So I'll finish up here and I'll see you at the tank. All right, so here is the tank. And what we're doing here is, well, let's admire some of the corals. So we got that beautiful red mushroom right there. This is a mostly softy dominated tank. That beautiful red mushroom, that beautiful blue discosoma. Love those corals. I love that the red one is starting to... The thing about these discosomas is they replicate really quickly. They reproduce really quickly, which is really, I love it. Those blue and those red colors are so vibrant. Got a little rock flower anemone, that's huge. Look at the orange on that. Toadstool leather, one of my favorite corals. Polyps are out, looking amazing. We have these pallies right here, which they, to the average person, those look all right. You know what I mean? But like, I want to drastically get rid of these because they're toxic. Number one, I got really sick off of these, but also because like, to me, they're just kind of too common and they're not that great. And I feel like we can hack some of these out and create some room for something better. We have some gorgonians in here. Look at this little basslet thinking I'm gonna feed him. That's a big boy right there, chalk basslet. This thing is huge. Speaking of huge, that's a big PJ cardinal. So anyways, the problem I'm having with this tank is, look at all this pulsing Xenia right here. Look at all this. It's completely taking over the tank, which, not a shock, right? Everybody knows pulsing Xenia takes over tanks. So I haven't been here in a long time. It's been I think I haven't been here in close to, I don't know, it's been months, whatever. It's been forever. And the pulsing Xenia has definitely gotten out of hand. Paligrandus right there looking good. And look at this toadstool. Wow, look at the long polyps on that. I think it's freaking awesome. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead in here and I'm going to pull off as much of this pulsing Xenia as I possibly can because it's spreading too quickly. And we have a lot of corals in here, a little maxi carpet right there. Yeah, that I don't want to lose, and I don't want this pulsing Xenia to take over the tank. I want to be able to have room for other things, like these beautiful green mushrooms. I don't care if they reproduce. They can reproduce as much as they want because that's a pretty coral. Same thing with these leathers, and we just recently added these acants. So this is now close to a mixed reef. We got some beautiful LPS in there. Those acants are badass. They're doing great. More mushroom corals up here. I'm cool with everything else growing and doing what it has to do. But in order for like things like these Reportia mushrooms and these other corals to do well, we have to get rid of this pulsing Xenia because it's becoming the bully of the tank, and we got to keep it under control. So I'll do that in a second. Little Royal Grandma. So we saw the big chalk basslet over there. There's a Royal Grandma. Let's go through some other fish. We have a striped blenny back there. Check out these two clownfish. These things are beautiful. Oh my God, I love them. Really pretty. And there's a yellow tang in here somewhere. There's chromis. There's a big old fat, there he is, dragonette in here. Yeah, this tank's been up for years and it's really well established. Looking good, looking good. All right, so I'm gonna pull that Xenia out, and in order to do that, I'm gonna have to use these pliers. Oh, there's the bag of Xenia. It's actually really pretty in white light. You can see it a lot better now. Yeah, that's a bunch. I gave it a good haircut. So that'll all be in the trash. Yeah, I don't like throwing coral away, but in this case, I have so much Xenia at the shop. I can't do anything with this, although this is a really pretty blue color. If it survives a trip, maybe I'll dump it in a tank or something, but as of right now, it's going in the trash. So yeah. All right, got rid of some Xenia right here, cleared it out a bit, so this whole area was covered. I got rid of Xenia all through there. Some Xenia down here also towards the gravel so it doesn't spread as much. And on the other side, we got rid of a bunch of Xenia right here. And look at, we have a little rock flower anemone that I didn't even notice there before. Still got some Xenia I have to get to, but we stirred this tank up a lot. Also, two little leather corals came out of nowhere after cleaning that Xenia up. So the tank's a little bit stressed because did a big water change and was messing around in there, but gave the tank a good haircut, a much needed haircut. The flow is much better in here now without all that Xenia blocking it. And the enemy's running around there. And still, next time I come back, I'm still gonna work on getting little stragglers like right there. Still work on getting the rest of that Xenia out of the tank. And that way, that enemy will settle somewhere eventually. That way, these other corals can grow. I also wanna work on getting rid of some of these pallies right here because they're claiming way too much real estate. They're starting to climb the rock and I wanna put, nicer stuff there. But I didn't want to do too much, because you do too much, you start swinging the tank in the wrong direction. So little by little, we'll hack away at this tank, we'll hack away at the coral, and we'll replace it with some nice stuff. But today the job is done. Good water change, good trimming, and hopefully now things grow a little bit quicker and better. While I have you guys here, I might as well take you to another tank. This aquarium has been up for a long time, mostly softies, but just take a look at that beautiful rock flower. That thing is ridiculous. Pink with the red. The camera doesn't do it justice. But yeah, this tank has been up for a while. It's got mostly softies in here, like I said, but they want to transition to different types of coral. So we got some anemones right here. We're actually gonna take that anemone out today, because these bubble tips have been splitting, and we don't want them to take over the tank, because we do want to put different types of coral in here. Most of this coral has been in the tank for, some of this coral I think is like 20 years old, maybe even older, some of these pieces. The tank itself is 10 years old. These rock flowers are probably the newest addition, and these are over 5 years old. That's how, you can tell just how big they are. It take a while to get that big. But the anemones are relatively new, but all the other corals are very old. We got a little monopora in here that's growing, and ever since that monopora started growing, it's really kind of motivated them to want to get, I guess you would say, newer types of corals in the tank. So more of a variety, more for a mixed reef. See, we added some zoas. We got some rasta, a piece of rasta right there. So we're going to be getting away from the old school pallies that are in this tank. This is the green pallies. We're going to be hacking away at some of these and slowly adding, different types of like designer zoas, quote unquote designer zoas. Maybe some more SPS if that monopora holds up. Maybe some LPS, maybe some hammer corals or something in there. Torch would be cool. We just gotta make sure we keep those anemones under control. Although they look beautiful. I was looking at this tank and seeing those two anemones up top. It looks really good. I'm kind of sad I'm taking that one anemone out today, but that looks really good. Good movement. But for sure, this tank needs a bit of an update. For sure, this tank needs more color. And with the lighting that we have on here, the AI 32s, we should be able to grow most any type of coral. Yeah, I think the top-down view is beautiful. But yeah, we should definitely upgrade this tank a bit with the corals, and I can't wait to do that, and I'll definitely keep you guys posted. So stay tuned if you want to see that. See you on the next one.